you guys. So today I'm going to be reacting to 7 shopping mistakes you don't want to make when grocery shopping. If you've ever had to make adjustments to your monthly spending, whether you're paying off debt or you're getting on a budget, you know how much money food costs every single week. So it's really important to have a plan and to think strategically about your grocery shopping. So stick around to hear my thoughts and drop your own tips in the comments as we go, because I love to hear what you guys do to save money on groceries. So make sure to share those. All right, so let's dive right in. The first one is not taking inventory of existing items. So before you head to the store, take time to look inside your pantry and your refrigerator to see what you already have. And this is the number one contributor to food waste in the kitchen, which is 100% avoidable. Most people can't easily recall whether they have kale in their fridge that's fresh or not when they're out shopping the aisles. So listen, it is tough because we don't have great memories always of what we have. So make sure to take note. Take note of condiments that you already have, of back stock in your freezer, so that you're not doubling up every time you go to the store. And this is mine. For some reason, when I make my grocery list, you guys, and I think like, okay, do I have feta cheese already? Do I have, and I'm thinking through some of this stuff. Is it expired? Is it not? The sour cream, especially. Getting up and going to the refrigerator and looking, for some reason, just feels like a mountain to climb at times. Because I'm like, I just want to get my list, do it all, and be done. But getting up and actually looking at your inventory, you guys, it will save you money, I promise. And it's like a terrible feeling. I've done this again. Sour cream. I don't know why that's one coming to my head, but buying multiple sour creams, and then you go put it in, you're like, oh yeah, I have 3 containers of sour cream. Why can I not remember that I have sour cream? So it saves you money and lowers that anxiety. Okay, up next is not making a list. So yep, I just mentioned that I make a grocery list. I love this idea of making a list because listen, we cannot remember everything from memory. So when we go down the aisles, especially if you're shopping in person, if you don't know what you have and what you need, you're going to end up buying more. So even if you're not type A, keeping a list going on the notes app on your phone or on the refrigerator is crucial for staying organized. Again, so when you go to the store, you know what to buy. And if it's been top of mind throughout the week, you're less likely to forget something when you're shopping. So don't cram for the test the night before, and make a mental list in your head when you go shopping. Record it in advance, and it is so helpful. We do this at our house. We have a little dry and erase board that's on the side of our refrigerator, and I just kind of keep notes throughout where I'm like orange juice or whatever that we have that we're getting low on or that we need, and I go to that list. I'm able to like shop through that, and when I know what meals we're gonna make. So the list is so helpful for me. So if you're not doing that, implement that. Next is shopping out of order. So this is an interesting one. So to maximize your time at the store itself, just do it in one easy sweep. It is way more frustrating when you're spending extra time searching for individual items constantly. So if you're more likely to get distracted, pick up items that you don't need and spend more money when you don't have a natural order that you're following. So start with produce so that you feel healthy, all the things, and then start going out the aisle. Especially if you shop at the same store, you kind of know how it's laid out. So make your list that way. So again, it's easy when you get in, you know exactly where you're going. All right, before I share the rest of these grocery don'ts, I want to tell you about Tapple. So Tapple is a really fun game that you can play with your friends and your family. And I like this one because it kind of can get a little competitive. There's a timer and you got to figure out this word and categories and all of it's really easy to learn, but it gets people going and it actually makes you have to like really think on the spot, which I think are really fun games because what people come up with or what they don't come up with is entertaining and fun. So if you have a gathering coming up with friends or family and you want a game, Tapple is the one you need to buy. So go to Walmart, check out Tapple, buy it, and have so much fun. All right, the next mistake that happens when you grocery shop is shopping for one meal at a time. When you're meal prepping for the week, buy food that can be converted into multiple meals throughout the week. So instead of buying 4 types of meat for all separate meals, especially if it's expensive, buy just one affordable meat and pair it with all different things throughout the night. This personally is one of my favorites. Now, I sometimes have to kind of spread out and get creative with this, but I love the idea of like cooking ground beef and knowing like, okay, we can split this, put some in red sauce for Italian, take this, we can use for tacos. Like being able to use for multiple meals, it helps with food prep, it helps with time, and saves you money. So all the way around, I agree with this one. Next is being close-minded. So browse the international aisles and try something new, and actually can be very cost-effective. And I find this, you guys, when it comes to spices. Spices in the international aisle are usually cheaper than when you go down the aisle with all the spices. Someone told me that years ago, and that's what I do now. It's amazing. And usually, like, especially if it's a brand that you're not familiar with, it's usually delicious and wonderful. So think outside the box when it comes to that stuff, because it actually can save you money. Our next is shopping for snacks. So people hate on snacking, but the food we eat in between meals is a legit part of our diet and is great for keeping our metabolism running throughout the day. So it's important to do your research and be intentional when it comes to snacking and what's good for you, what's not. Check the ingredient lists, and if it's super long with words you don't understand, it's probably not the best for you. And I'm very guilty of this. I don't do this well, but when you start to see words that you're like, that doesn't feel real, maybe just try something else. Or if you're really trying to save money in general, try shopping for meal ingredients only for a month and see how much you save on those Cheez-Its. Man, this is a hard one because my kids are snackers. They love to snack and they are into like the Pirates booty and all this. But we found some like good snacks at Costco that actually are, I think, healthier, which has been great. So I've introduced a lot of like peanuts and nuts and trail mixes. And there's like these crisp apple things that it's like, I don't even know how they're made, but my kids love them. And I'm like, perfect. Beef jerky, my kids love that too. So anything that has good protein and things obviously is better than like the processed stuff. But let's be honest, I'm not perfect in this area. So I'm not gonna try to claim that I am, because I'm not. Next is investing in pantry items. So think about getting one large can of olive oil or a spice restock that could cost you actually a little bit more every few shopping trips, but it's a good investment if you're gonna use them in almost all of your meals going forward. So again, if you have to go in and say, hey, I'm gonna buy, this thing, it's probably gonna be more expensive, but I'm actually gonna use it all the time, then that's great. So there's a couple of things that you can just have as staples. And even again, a Costco or a Sam's, if you can buy in bulk those things, it can even save you some money that way. So that's one thing that I have found, which is great. All right, if I could share my number one grocery shopping tip, I think it would be, for me, honestly, it's meal planning. It is knowing what nights of the week we're gonna be cooking, what we're doing for every dinner. Because if we don't have a plan, naturally, I'm gonna be like, just order pizza or like, let's go pick up food. But if we know what we're cooking, we shop around that. I see what's in the refrigerator. We plan our meals around what the kids like, what we like, and all of it comes together and it is just smooth. It takes the guesswork out of things, which is huge. So for me, it has saved us money, and I can tell it has because when I use EveryDollar, which is our budgeting app, if you've not downloaded it, make sure to download it because it's fantastic. We have a grocery line item and we've stayed within it. We've actually done really well, I'd say, over the past few months because we've been so intentional, especially since the kids have been back in school, to be intentional with our grocery shopping and knowing what meals we're gonna cook at home and what food that we need. And if we don't need it, we're not buying it. So again, if you need a tool to help you stay organized when it comes to your budget, EveryDollar is the best budgeting app. It's my favorite when it comes to food spending and grocery planning and knowing what we have money-wise in that category to go and make shopping more efficient. So make sure to drop a comment with your favorite grocery hacks that will save you time and money, because we want to know what you're doing to help us all out. And make sure to send this video to a friend who may dread grocery shopping, but hopefully this gives them a little bit of encouragement and inspiration, when they go down the aisles of the grocery store. So remember to take control of your money and create a life you love.